We are taught from a young age to follow a certain path. Go to school, get good grades, get a good job, get promoted. But after achieving these milestones, what's next? What should you do with the money that you've earned? It seems like the focus on financial guidance disappears after the good job part. When it comes to payday, there is a lot of conflicting advice on where you should put your money and in what order. Do you pay off debt? Do you save? Do you invest? We are continuously fearful of making the wrong choices. So what actually is the optimal order for investing your money? If you're new here, I'm Nischa. I'm a qualified accountant, and on this channel, we talk about all things personal finance and self-development. And in this video, I'm going to share with you what I personally believe is the most optimal order to invest your money and set you up for the future. Number one, build up a safety net. Before you invest in the stock market, before you invest in real estate, before you invest in equipment for your new business, you want to have a safety net. This is the very first thing you want to do. Focus number one before you do anything else is save 1 month's worth of expense and put it into a high interest savings account that you can easily access whenever you need to without paying any fees. I want to clarify something here. Is it financially optimal for you to instead pay off your debt before you save for an emergency fund? Yes, but being mathematically optimal is different to psychologically optimal. And the psychological comfort of knowing you have a small emergency fund and that you won't need to go into debt to pay for an unexpected expense frees you from a lot of additional stress. And this isn't money to then spend on everyday expenses. This emergency fund really needs to be kept away. Forget you even have it, out of sight. Start off with 1 month's expense. This will cover most small emergencies, and you can look into adding to this after you do the next step first, and that is paying off your high interest debt. The majority of adults are in debt, and we've accepted this as the norm. We may have bought a new car that we could have bought used. We may have bought something that we didn't even need to impress people that we don't even like. And one of the biggest problems with debt is that it restricts your monthly income. If you have high interest debt that is eating away on your income, it massively restricts the amount you can save and the amount of everything else that you can do. Instead, if you focus on paying off debt, that is a tax-free, risk-free, guaranteed rate of return. If you have credit card debt that is charging you 20%, then by paying off that debt, you're making a guaranteed return of 20% on that principal, the interest that you'll no longer be paying. The very first high interest debt you want to pay off is your credit card debt. Forget about meal planning, forget about cutting costs in any other place. This is where you are going to take the biggest step towards financial freedom. So what is high interest debt? I would define high interest debt as anything above 8% interest. Some people say 6%, others say 10%. The reason I chose 8% is because historically, when investing in the stock market, you can expect to earn about 10% annually. And when you adjust this for inflation, it's around 8%. So to me, anything above what you could earn in the stock market is going to be high interest debt. But what about mortgages or other smaller loans? Usually the interest on that isn't as high as credit card debt or overdraft fees, so you can continue making the minimum payments on those and do the next step instead. But before we get into it, I want to let you know that I'm doing a free 5-day money program. It's going to be 5 days of videos where we cover a different topic every day, from asking for a pay rise, money beliefs, saving, investing, and it's completely free. The launch date will be confirmed in the next few weeks. I'm really excited for this. So if you want to know when it launches, then sign up using the link below. With that aside, number 3 on my list of order is what you will hear a lot of personal finance people talking about doing as step 1, as it's free money. How could you be saying no to free money? But the reason why I don't think it makes sense to put this as number 1 is because it's something that you will benefit from in 20, 30, 40 years from now. And that doesn't matter if you can't get your finances today in a good place to start with. So once you have steps 1 to 2 done, then you want to take the match that your employer is offering you for your retirement fund. This is called different things in different countries. In the UK, it's the pension contribution, and in the US, you would have heard it as the 401k. And what this means is for every pound or dollar that you contribute, your employer will also match that contribution and put that towards your pension. So say you're earning 100,000 and you contribute 4,000 of that towards your workplace pension, your employer matches everything you put in. So you're basically making 100% return on your investment straight away. Remember, this is different from the full amount that you can contribute. All you care about here is contributing whatever you need to get the full match, because otherwise you're just leaving free money on the table. And unfortunately, for these retirement matches that employers provide as a benefit, you can't claim it retrospectively. So you can't claim it now for previous years. So you're going to repeat this one every single year. You never want to miss out on this free money. Step number 4, have an additional fund. Imagine the kind of freedom and stability you would have if you had 3 to 6 months of your living expenses in your bank account at all times, knowing that if anything happened, you lost your job, your business didn't work out, then you would have something to fall back onto, and that will all be taken care of. This is when you want to have enough money available so that if anything happens, you can bail yourself out and not rely on credit card debt to get you out of your situation. So you want to work out what is the absolute minimum you need to survive on. So your fixed expenses, your variable expenses, your total expenses for the month, and then multiply that number by 3 to 6 months if you're employed, or 9 to 12 months if you're self-employed. This number is your emergency fund, and it's different to your safety net that we spoke about in the first point. This is for the larger financial shocks that we just mentioned that have longer term implications. Now, once you've done that, this is where it gets fun because you've completed the groundwork for a truly free financial future. Now you get to invest and meet some of your other financial priorities. So the next step is to invest through a tax advantaged account. The reason why you absolutely want to do this is because it's one of the most tax efficient places you can be putting your money in to make it grow. Most other investments require some sort of tax. When you buy a share and make money from it, you usually have to pay capital gains tax. However, when you invest through a tax advantaged account, such as an ISA, if you're in the UK, or a Roth IRA, if you're in the US, you shield your profits from the tax man. So you want to take advantage of these accounts up until the maximum if you can. Then we have pay off low interest debt. This includes, for example, student loans in some cases, and sometimes car loans. From a financial standpoint, this debt may not be hurting you as much, so you can choose whether you want to pay it off or instead use that money to invest. But my personal perspective is that unless this debt is being used to help you make more money, if it's not helping you do that, then you should be paying it off. So if you're using that money to invest rather than to pay it back, then it may make sense. But if you are not paying off your debt because you rather have more money left over to spend on things that you enjoy, then I would instead consider paying it off. When you consider debt as a normal way of life, it can very quickly cascade into a mindset of justification, and using it to fund an elevated lifestyle with low interest debt is something you want to avoid. You want to get into the habit of paying off as much bad debt as you can from your life. Then we have paying off your mortgage. This is the last thing on the list, and I would highlight that it is completely optional, and it really depends on your financial situation. There are so many variables that you have to take into account. How much equity do you have left? When does your fixed rate end? How long do you have left? Personally, in my situation, I would not pay off my mortgage right away. Instead, I would choose to use that money to invest because mortgage rates are typically some of the cheapest debt you can get. And they have long-term commitments that have already been priced in to be paid over the full term. So instead, if you wait to pay off your mortgage before you decide to start investing, you're really limiting your time in the investment market. That can take away from some of the benefits of compounding and long-term growth. And on top of that, making overpayments can save you money on interest in the long run for your mortgage, but not all mortgages are flexible. So before you make any overpayments, you want to make sure you check the terms of your mortgage and see if overpayments are allowed or if there are any early repayment charges. If your mortgage doesn't allow overpayments or limits them, for example, for 10% a year, then it might make sense to put that extra money into investments. And by doing this, you're building up a separate pot of money in your investments and adding value to your property simultaneously, both of which will help your financial future. Of course, there are psychological benefits to paying off your mortgage and living mortgage free. So ultimately depends on what's more important to you. One of the things I haven't spoken about on this list is putting your money towards skills and personal development. You can only save and invest as much as you can earn, but you can always earn more. And Brilliant.org, who are very kindly sponsoring this video, is a really good online platform where you can learn the skills you need to land those higher paying jobs. Brilliant has thousands of interactive bite-sized lessons. They're very fun learning paths and they make it very easy to learn new things, stay on track, and also get real-time feedback. If you've watched my videos, you know that I'm the least tech savvy person and it takes me forever to understand anything technology related. But I'm really starting to get to grips with some of the technology stuff through the courses that I've done through Brilliant. Right now, I'm loving their one on search engines. It's been very helpful to someone who's trying to grow their online income streams to learn the ins and outs of how search engine technology works. And I've downloaded it on my mobile, which makes it very handy to learn things on the go. You can try it out completely for free for 30 days by signing up using the link below. And if you enjoy it as much as I have, and you want to continue, then the first 200 people who sign up using the link also get 20% off of their subscription. That's brilliant.org/Nischa. Hopefully this video gave you some ideas on where you want to be putting your money on your next payday. If you want more ideas on how to get the most value out of your money, I have a whole Accountant Explained series videos on my channel where we talk about all things personal finance. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you there.